What's up, Ginger Cornets? So I'm currently hard at work on a new video that I think you're all going to really enjoy. It's something I've wanted to talk about for a while, and I really like how it's coming along. But that's gonna have to wait for a bit longer, because holy Arceus, they really just dropped this. So first, a bit of backstory. A few weeks ago, it was announced that Pokémon would be collaborating with artist Daniel Arsham for a series of exhibits in Tokyo. Among some really incredible sculptures, the star of the show was to be an original animation called A Ripple in Time, which would mimic the look of the original Pokémon anime. The exhibits have now officially begun, and to everyone's surprise, the first part of A Ripple in Time was uploaded to the Pokémon Japan YouTube channel, complete with English subtitles. I've probably watched this video at least a dozen times at this point, and boy do I have some thoughts, because honestly, this could be a game changer for the Pokémon anime. Just a quick note though, Pokémon has a habit of being very strict with their copyright, especially when it comes to YouTube videos, since fair use laws in Japan are basically non-existent. So for that reason, I'll be primarily using screenshots instead of full video footage. But also, I definitely think this is something that you need to experience for yourself firsthand. Link in the description. But without further ado, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Aside from maybe Gacha, this is probably the best Pokemon has looked. Like, ever. Ever since the anime made the switch to digital animation, I assume the style seen in the original series was done for, a product of its time if you will. Now obviously, the art style has changed a ton over the years regarding characters, but background elements aren't really talked about as much. Now look, backgrounds in the anime nowadays are gorgeous, but there's something about the original hand-painted ones that always felt really charming to me. A Ripple in Time, despite clearly being digitally animated, mimics the hand-painted style pretty much perfectly. And personally, I think I prefer this look over the modern style. And also, you can't call me out on nostalgia because I literally grew up with Diamond and Pearl, so ha. It's really something that's hard to put into words, but hopefully the scenes I've been putting on screen show what I'm talking about. My favorite detail would have to be how the colors often overflow out of the lines. When backgrounds were physically hand-painted, you couldn't just hit Ctrl-Z to fix a mistake, so this was pretty common, and while not intentional, definitely adds to the style's charm. The fact that this short is digitally animated, however, is also a plus, as while they once again mimic the original art style, digital art allows for a level of fluid movement that would have been extremely tricky with traditional cell animation. It actually reminds me a lot of Into the Spider-Verse in how it seamlessly meshes classic and modern animation techniques. Now looking at the credits, which yes, I did actually read through, it seems while Daniel Arsham was a writer, the special was still animated internally at OLM. And all I can say is, please give us a movie with this art style. Seeing modern characters such as Cynthia and Garchomp as they would have looked in the original series is a sight to behold. Speaking of which, alright, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched A Ripple in Time, go do that and then come back here. I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1... Alright, time's up. The special ends with Ash being met face to face with none other than Dialga. This was seriously mind-blowing. Seeing Dialga alongside original series Ash actually did make my jaw drop. Also, what happened to the moon here? Is kinda missing a chunk. Now on the topic of timelines, this is clearly set in an alternate continuity. Not only does original series Ash meet Dialga, but we also see Pikachu use Iron Tail, a move it doesn't learn until Hoenn. Ash does recognize Celebi, but he also knew what it was in Secrets of the Jungle, despite not having seen one on screen in that universe, so who knows. And no, given his hat, I don't think this is set in the AU continuity. Now it definitely seems like Celebi took Ash and Pikachu into the future, with agitation basically taking over. It almost feels post-apocalyptic. We also know this can't be some distant past because boom, Mewtwo statue. Yeah, I don't think this is another example of Bill's Door featuring Mewtwo despite no one knowing it exists. Though speaking of which, we do see a destroyed version of Bill's Door. There's a few minor differences, but for the most part, the Pokemon featured here are the same ones from episode 13. American. This is likely just an Easter egg for us Pokénerds though. I don't think it's gonna play an integral part of the story. The last thing I really want to note though, we got official English subtitles. Now the fact that Daniel Arsham is American likely has something to do with this. However, I still think this could end up being a big step in the right direction, considering we've never gotten official subs for the anime, with the one odd exception being Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. It's also worth mentioning that while no trainer names were said, not even Ash, the Pokemon and attack names used in the subtitles all had their English localizations instead of the Japanese Romanji. For example, they said Quick Attack and not Lightning Speed. This was definitely intended to be seen internationally. But let me know what you guys think about this surprise new series. Personally, I cannot wait to see what happens next. And here's to hoping we get more projects in this style in the future.